Good afternoon.
Good.
Would you give us your name, please, your full name and where you were born?
Excuse me, Mary Frances Morgan. I was a Mary Frances Greene. I married Dan Morgan. He passed some years ago. We had one son, he passed, but we had two grandchildren, grandson and granddaughter, and I have a great granddaughter. Let's see. I think I told you I was born and raised in Drayden, Maryland, and my parents were George and Louise Greene. My mother's maiden name was Mason. She raised 12 children. She died in childbirth with the 13th child, which was a boy. Buddy is the youngest. I'm the oldest. I went to Jarboesville High School, graduated from there. Then I went to Cortez Peters, went to business school, finished there. Then I got married. Went to Baltimore. Then I got married and lived in Washington, and I've been in Washington ever since. And I think I told you I have one son.
Yes.
Yeah, two grands and one great grand.
Tell us about your earliest memories.
Of growing up,
Yes.
oh, I had a very strict mother and father, but a loving mother and father. When she said, do something, you did it. You didn't ask any questions. She was a good cook. We were blessed. We're blessed raising as many children as they had, and to raise them, all of her children. That's not a mark against any of us, I don't think. Child, or grandchild, or great-grandchild. My son, he passed, but he finished Hampton. Tiff and Jermaine, my daughter, wasn't in the education part, and I tried to get her to send my grands to college. It was because she didn't have the money, she just wasn't interested. But they are beautiful children. Because most grandparents think their children are, but they are. They have never given us 1 minute's trouble. Because Tiffy has a little girl. Jermaine, he's not married, hasn't married yet. He's a pistol. I said, Jermaine, when are you getting married? He said, when I find somebody I feel like I want to live with. I said, okay, that's it. But I'm blessed because they have never I've had a son who never gave me immense trouble. My grandchildren have never given me immense trouble. And I'm really blessed in that way. Mm-hmm. In my family, as you can see, but all of them the same way. Mm-hmm. Any of them come in this area, we can try to get to see them. Mm-hmm. But my sisters and brothers, I think, I just lost a sister last December. But it was Marie passed last December, or December before.
No, last December.
Yeah. And Dolly, she lived in Detroit. She's gone. Georgie lived in Portsmouth. She's gone. And Marie, she just passed. Ernestine's in Georgia. She's sick. She has is it Alzheimer's?
No, not quite. Sort of dementia.
Yeah, that whatever it is. I know she's not herself. And it hurts because she was here for my sister Marie's funeral. She didn't look like herself.
Now, which one was that? Can you tell us how many siblings you had?
there were 12 of us. Mother died in childbirth, the 13th one. And we had 3 boys and 9 girls.
Okay.
Buddy's the youngest. I'm the oldest. And now, it's not that many, I think it's 5 of us left.
Is it 6? I think it's 6.
It's 6 of us,
I believe so, yeah.
yeah. And we had a family reunion a couple of years ago. And my grandmother was there. And she looked at me and she said, Mary Frances? I said, yes, Grandma. She said, I started all of this. Which was, she was a dream. Aunt Catherine had one job. That was Vernon. Nothing. But how many children did Vernon
Excuse me?
have? Yeah,
Who?
Vernon,
How many children did he have?
yeah,
I think 1, I believe.
one. And Matthews. Yeah. He didn't stay in touch that much because he was. My mother and father raised us strict, but she always told us, watch the people you associate with, because they recognize you by the friends you keep. If you're out with someone and they're doing things that you know wrong, always, when you get a chance, excuse yourself and leave, because you don't want to be associated with that type of person. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. And I think she and Daddy did a beautiful job. My nephew was Shirley. It was the last week Ronald was here. Yeah. So I think it's 40-some
That's more than that.
grandchildren.
Oh, grandchildren, great-grandchildren? I guess it's approaching 75.
Yeah, it's a good many. We, you know, I'm bragging, I know, but our family is a very close family. And we get together, we don't care whether anybody's around or not, we have a ball. We really have a good time, and that's the way Mother and Daddy raised us, to get along with each other.
Well, you're talking about your siblings. What type of things did you do together when you were small? What kind of games did you play at home, or did you do?
Merry-go-round, ring-around rosy, where you take the ball, throw it over the house to the next one, the one over. You all ever play that? Yeah. I don't know, we played games and we used to play baseball and played, we just, but it helped me out all the
I can't help you out.
It's
Do
yeah.
you want to go ahead, Alma, and explain? It's kind of, if he's
Yeah.
off camera, it makes it difficult.
Right, because he's not on camera, so you don't know who that is that's giving you answers. So don't worry if you don't know everything or don't remember everything. It'll be a great interview anyway, and we're just honored that you're here with us.
Well, one thing, I just felt so beautiful, because everything that we do, I said, I wish Mother and Daddy were here to see it, and to Mother to know that her child was asked to interview for an association like this. I'll be 90 in a couple of months, and I really have enjoyed my life. I've been blessed with a good husband, good son, and I have 2 grands, 1 great-grand. And we sisters and brothers, We do. We really, when they come this way and we all get together, we seem to forget that's other people. And sometimes when we were growing up and Mother and Daddy were very particular with where we went to play. And was one family, and I would say, Mother, they always come to play with us. Why can't we go and play with them? So Mother sat me down one day and said, Mary Frances, they can come here anytime they like, but you can't go there because they drink, and we don't want our girl around people that drink. I never bothered her anymore. But I felt bad because those girls, we were friends. But that's the way Mother and Daddy raised us. We had to be careful. But that family was the only family. And when she explained to me why, and yet when they came and they ate, if it was pot of beans, we all sat around the table and ate those beans together and whatnot. My life growing up, we didn't have that much, but we had fun. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful life.
Would you share a little bit about us, with us about school and your education?
Oh, I went to Drayden, one-room school. The first to third grade on one side of the room, third to the seventh. Fourth to the seventh was on the other side of the room. To me, when I was growing up, and I thought, Lord, I'd be so glad when I can get over on the other side, because that's where all the big children were. And when I got to the fourth grade and went over there, nobody could tell me anything, because it wasn't that school. I think that's a historical school now. It's still there. And Mr. Stuckey was our teacher. He was a pistol. I never forget, he whipped, no, that wasn't Mr. Stuckey, that was one of the sisters. And you don't remember what sister was, do you? She came home and told Mother that the sister had whipped her, and Mother, the whelps were still on her. Mother and Daddy got in the car. We live in Drayden, and they went to St. Peter's.
Oh,
Huh?
Oh, was that Drayden School or was that another school?
St. Peter Place.
Okay.
One of the nuns whipped her, my sister. And Mother said, you know, my children can be punished, but you don't put this kind of whips on my children. I can't remember when we listened to Mother, the big whips. And so I know they said that nun never put her hands on the child. But that's the way they were. They didn't uphold you in what you did, but you treated them right. We had, to me, I always say, we had a beautiful life. We were poor. We might not have had nothing but a pot of beans, but we had enough to eat, and we were happy. And Mother always said, I'm going to see that all my children get at least a high school education, because you don't have to pay for that. But I'm seeing we had Marie, Ernestine, Buddy, all went to college. I went to business school. But all of them got some type of education more than the high school when they grew up. Went out. My life growing up was wonderful. It was wonderful. I feel that I was blessed because I had the kind of parents that I had. I don't think that I would be the lady that I am today.
Can you share some more about Drayden School and some of your
Oh, yeah.
classmates and what you did and the classes and the books?
The Drayden School, there was one first grade to the third grade on one side of the room. Fourth to the seventh was on the other side of the room. Her teacher I had was Miss Stuckey. And the last teacher I had was Miss Tilghman. I think she was a Miss Dyson. They were good. Only time in school that I got hit, that I felt to this day, it wasn't right. Miss Tilghman hit me for talking, and I told her it wasn't me. I knew who it was, but I wasn't going to tell her. She said, "Who was I?" I said, "I don't know, but it wasn't me." But she was a good teacher. I went to Drayden.
Do you remember the desk? What type of desk you had and the books and all that?
Yeah, well, the books we had, I think, a lot of them were brought from Great Mills over to our school. We didn't get new books. We got hand-me-downs. But yet, we got a good education. Because when I graduated the seventh grade. There was only two of us. No, it was only two of us graduated from high school. That's what it was. And it was Chester Clay and me. And I made my dress. And Miss Dent, I think that was the superintendent, asked her, I forgot who it was going to teach or somebody, how come she didn't make her dress, graduation dress? And she said she did. She said she couldn't believe it. But I picked that pattern out to this day. That's why I don't like sewing. It was long-waisted. They were wearing long-waisted dresses then. Pleated all the way around. It was pretty. And Miss Hall, she saw to it every pleat was measured. It had to be the exact right. But when it was finished, it was pretty though. It was really pretty.
Was Miss Hall a teacher at your school?
Miss Hall was a teacher at high school. At the elementary school, the only two teachers I had was Miss Stuckey and Miss Tilghman. Miss Hall was at home economics teacher. Yeah.
Now, regarding Drayden School, do you remember anything about the types of desks you had then? Were they all wooden desks or how
All
were
wooden
they?
desks, yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
We had fun. I'm not going to say anything different. It was a school. It was naturally all black. Mr. Stuckey was strict. I know. He whipped me, and Mother took him to court. Then he came back, and he whipped one of his daughters, and he said, "This is mine. I can do what I want with it." But he never whipped me again. And I don't know what it was. I could have sassed him, I don't know. Because I would talk back.
Do you remember any of the other students at the school? You remember any names of other students? Yeah. Would you share that with us?
Of course. Let's see. Dyson's. It was Catherine. No, Catherine. Catherine went. Eva Stuckey, that was Miss Stuckey's daughter. Son Alton, Gertie, and Cole. There was Catherine Dyson, Margaret, Isabel, Christine Fenwick, Genevieve Fenwick, Fenwick's, Dyson's, Greene's, Theo and Elgman. I think I was in the first grade and they came out of school. But at that time, you went from the first grade to the seventh grade. Now, I think it's the eighth grade you have to go through. But, and then at Christmas time, it was fun because they had a Santa Claus. And we all got a bag, and in the bag was an apple, an orange, and candy, nuts. But you know, when you're growing up, you don't think about things like that until you get older. You think back, those were some good days. They were some fun days. And we did. Drayden School, it was good because it gave me my first foundation education. And it must have been a good one because when I went to high school, I wasn't a dummy. And it was fun.
You talked about being at home with your family and your siblings. What type of, did you have chores around the house? What type of things were you responsible for?
There were two groups. This week, one group did downstairs and the other group did upstairs.
Was that cleaning?
Cleaning, whatever had to be done. And you knew what you had to do. We had washing and ironing, all those things. All of us had our certain chores we had to do, and we did them.
Did you have a special chore that you were expected to do, or?
Well, you had washing dishes, cleaning, things like that. There was one, you washed the dishes if it was today or this week. Then next week another group did it. But Mother saw to it that all of us had chores to do in the house. And she taught us how to cook. And I never forget one time Mother went somewhere. I tried to make a cake. You know what that cake, Mother said that cake was delicious. I don't know whether she told me that because she didn't want me to feel bad, but I know one thing, none of it go to waste. My mother was a beautiful person. And she taught things that she taught us how to do. Because she would, she grew up in Baltimore. She taught there for a while until she got married. In her day, if you married, you didn't teach. And she taught in Baltimore. And she helped us with our homework. And at night, in the summertime, we did our homework. Then we played. But in the wintertime, see, it got dark early. So she would let us play, and then we come in and do our homework. And she helped us a lot with it. She was a beautiful person.
Now, you talked about your mom and dad, and your mom was a teacher prior to getting married, but did your parents both work? What were their occupations outside of the home?
Daddy worked for, I don't know whether you all remember, Allen Code. Because he wasn't the one that had the money, she was the one that had the money. That's who Daddy worked for years. And Mother, I think 1 year, she worked on McKay's Beach. But she didn't do too much work because she was busy raising her children.
Okay. We talked about your family. Do you remember any serious illnesses that your family had? And did you have a family doctor, or how was that handled?
Yeah, Dr. Bean was our family doctor. My sister Bernice had scarlet fever. Nobody believed it because they said they can't believe that someone has scarlet fever. Came out like she did. But mother did what the doctor told her to do. She had a dress she kept by the door. When she walked in that room, she put that dress on. When she came out, she took the dress off. And Dolly, when it was over with, she had scales, big scales. That's how a person with scarlet fever had. And that's the only real bad illness I can remember if I had bad tonsils and things like that.
Now, did the doctor come to your house, or did your mom have any home remedies?
Well,
That she used?
for the scarlet fever, I think you can. I can't remember because it was Dr. Bean. And that was the doctor that we had. And then when Dr. Patrick came back, we went to see Dr. I think Dr. Patrick attended my mother when she passed.
Well, we hear of some older home remedies. Did your family use any of those?
Yes, she had pain cane. I can't remember the name of it. And a man used to come around selling it. All these different remedies. And I can't remember his name. She called, I remember she used to take sugar, put a few drops of kerosene on it. You remember that? And give it to you very cold. You had colds. Can't remember what she did, but I know one thing. All this time we went to the doctor, you had to be sick for when you went to the doctor because they had their own remedies.
You talked about your family being at home and playing together and everything. Do you remember any type of discipline that your parents gave to
The
you?
worst discipline you had was you had to go pick your own switch. And if it wasn't the right one, you go back until you got the right one. Yes, indeed. My mother was a beautiful person. She and Daddy would sit down. Like when we go out and play, they would sit on the porch and watch us play games and whatnot. And that was to me, that was beautiful to have our parents watch us while we played. Now, what was the question?
I talked about disciplining.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned the switch that
Yes,
you
she
had
did.
to.
Yes. She gave you that switch. And I remember the last prickling I got was I was 14. She said, and I knew not to get off at the bus at the store. This day I decided I'm going to get off the bus. And you know why, the boys sitting on the porch. So I didn't go up on the porch. I just got off the bus and walked on up the road to my house. And my mother met me at the gate with the switch. That's the last prickling I got. And I was 14 years old. When my mother tell you not to do something, you didn't do it. And you know she had a good reason for it.
Do you feel that that is the way your mom and your dad prepared you for life later on?
Part of it, of course. If they hadn't, if they hadn't corrected our mistakes, where would we be today? That's it.
Okay. About your teenage years, you talked about getting a switch when you were 14. Do you remember when you started dating or going out?
Let's see. The first person I went out, they allowed me to go out with, was Dan, the man I married. Yeah.
You remember how old you were when you started dating?
Oh, how old was I? 18 or 19, I think. Mhm. Mhm.
And so you married your first date.
Real date. Yes. And he was a super guy. I was blessed. We were married 47 years. We were hoping for 50. But it's still 47 years. I was blessed to have had him for that long. And people don't believe it. We never had an argument. We planned it like that. We said we would discuss it. We wouldn't argue. If it's something that I did or something that he did, we discussed it. And I never forget one day, Junior, my son, was sitting at the table, we were eating. Something said, and Dan said, "You did?" I said, "I didn't." He said, "Yes, you did, honey, you did." I said, "I didn't. I don't know what it was. I can't remember that." Junior looked and said, "You don't stop that fussing." And I said, "Child, if you only knew what fussing was." I said, "Weren't fussing, we were discussing. That's all." He just looked at, he said, "You were fussing." So you see how much fussing that he heard around our house.
So what was it really like when you went out on your own, maybe before you got married? Were you out on your own during that time?
I'm going to be true, the only real date that I had was Dan.
Okay, you mentioned, tell me about high school, and then after high school, what did you work or?
After high school, that's when I went to Baltimore. When I went to business school, I went to Cortez Peters, and I finished there. Then I went to work.
Where did you work then when you?
And J.J. Brill's. I don't know why I can remember, but it was a 5 and 10 cent store.
Oh, okay.
And I went in there, and it was prejudice. It was prejudice at that time, because all the light girls was in the front, all the dark ones was in the back. And I thought myself, where am I going to be? Put me in the middle. But they were nice. They were nice. But it was one girl who worked in the grocery store, and they had a grocery store in the back of girls. None of y'all been to Baltimore. It was on Pennsylvania Avenue. And her name was Hazel. And they caught her. She was the nicest lady. Oh, she was so tall. And she would go out every evening. She had her bag. She took her groceries home. But she was a nice lady. She still was a nice, and I'll never forget it. Mr. Burrell owned the store, but Mr. Henry ran it. And he had to go and tell her. And I said, "Mr. Henry," I said, "now you have the experience. You don't have to do this. Let them or let one of his sons do that." But we had sense enough to know that they didn't take it out on the girls. They knew who was close, because he had to go and Mr. Curly walk around with a cigar in his mouth, big and bad. He had a son also who was in the store. But that was the first job I had.
Do you remember how the pay? What type of pay?
Oh yes, $20 a week is what we got. And now they get more than that a day. We thought he was making big money. And you can know how long ago that was, when I'll be 90 in a couple of months.
Did you have opportunities to advance in your job?
Well, no, I came out the store. I got married. Then when I got married, when did I went and worked in the Navy Annex. Went over there, and I started out as a grade 1, and when I retired, I was a grade 9. So that wasn't bad. And we had 15s and 16s in the black race in my school, at my job. The people that rose on the job got up like that. But with me, even at a 9, I was blessed. I was happy to get there.
We talked about Dan, your husband. How did you meet him? Tell us.
Oh, it was up at Happy Land. Every Sunday, Mother, Daddy would take us to Happy Land, and we would go in and they play the, what you call it then, Victrola. And that's where I met him.
Oh, okay.
And we were at the baseball field. He started talking, and I started to talk. He asked me, could he come to see me? I said, yeah. Because I knew who he was. And I knew I'd better, it's saying good, Mother and Dad were very particular about who came to the house to see us. Because one time, some boys came up to the house. Daddy met him at the door. He said, did you come to see me? No, sir. If you didn't come to see me, move. They left too. When I started going with Dan, that was a happy man. He was so happy. Because see, Daddy and Dan used to work together at the hotel down at St. George's Island.
Oh, okay.
That's where they used to work together.
Okay. You talked about your family and the things you shared and the things that you did together. What about religion in your family life?
Staunch Catholics. And we had to walk to church. And that's about 2 miles. Now, you know where my home is, where my father's home is. And we walked to church. We went to church every Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously religion played an important part in your life.
Very much so. Very much so.
What about community activities? Did the church have a lot of activities?
Not then. No, not like they do now. Went to catechism. Yeah. And you made your first Holy Communion, you confirmed, and that was it.
Well, Ms. Morgan, how do you feel about life today in general as compared to when you were growing up?
To me, children nowadays, they do not know how lucky they are to be able to get out, go places, see things, do things which elevate them, maybe grow up. Just like with my granddaughter. I wanted her to go to college. Her mother didn't, education wasn't anything with her because, you know, Junior went to Hampton, finished, did well. But she didn't encourage my grands to go to college. They didn't go. Jermaine has a great now. Jermaine has a good job. Tiffy, I know the word for it, but I can't call it. But anyway, they have it down here, buddy, what is it? Uber, yeah. That's what it is, that's what she does. And she loves it.
Excuse me. So, do you feel that the quality of life is better or worse now than it was then?
It depends. It depends upon the person. It depends upon you. Do you want to stay the way you are, or would you want to elevate yourself better? children nowadays, and a lot of them take advantage of it, have the opportunity to go on through school, get good jobs, the kind of job that our race have now. They didn't have them back then. And this is it. Jermaine, my grandson, the kind of job he has. To me, if I had something like that growing up, nobody could tell me anything. Now, I can't exactly, but I know it's a desk job. It's a very good job. Tiffy works for Uber. And she loves that. She said, Grandma, I make more money working for Uber than I would anything else, and I don't want anything else. And she sometimes would come in and say, Grandma, guess how much money I made today? I said, I don't know. But I said, just be careful. Don't work at night, because it is dangerous. It's dangerous in Washington. But she does pretty good. It's not what I wanted her to do, but that's her life. And it's honest. So as long as they have an honest job and doing well at it, don't interfere with it. Because if you do, it might be worse.
You mentioned a few things. Well, you did mention a bit about race relations in your job. How was it, race relations in your community growing up?
Oh, Drayden?
Well,
That's
in
where I
St.
grew up.
Mary's County. Oh, do you remember?
Oh,
And how did you get your news back then?
we had a radio. And then you had TV. It was years before you got to TV, but you had the radio. We didn't get out that much, but I still feel we had a good life. Because we children, all of us together, play mother, and the best thing about that was when Mother and Daddy sat out on the porch and watched us play baseball, play dodgeball, all those things.
That's wonderful. So you feel that, I know you don't live in St. Mary's County, but do you feel that things in St. Mary's County is a lot different now than they were?
My gosh, 6 years, when I can hear of it. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Things altogether different.
In what way?
Every way you can think of. You go to the stores, you can sit where you want. You go to church and you can sit where you want. It's just better. It's just better all the way around. It's, you go down, go in the restaurants, get your food and sit anywhere you want. There was a time, it just made me not angry, mad. When I saw the people go up here to the juice, used to be the juice store. You know where that was? You know where that was? It was the juice store. It's just before you get to Valley, right on the corner. And they go around to the back and buy their alcohol. And I said, why couldn't they go up to Leroy's? Because we used to call your grandfather Leroy. Go up to Leroy's and buy. Why'd they have to go and go to the back and buy their alcohol? But they did. Because now it's altogether different. You can go in there and sit down if you want to. But it's life down here in St. Mary's. It's different. Go from 1 to 10, go to 10. Much, much better. It's much better. I just said I wish my parents were living so they could see the way things are down here now, living the way we live.
Is there anything else you want to share with us during this interview?
I can't think of it. That's my problem. You know, but when I leave here, I think, oh, I should have said this. But when you put on the spot, a lot of times you can't think. Your mind just. But it isn't. You girls are very blessed. You're living here now than when you was when I was a child growing up. Because things are better for you. Go anywhere you want to. You can go in the stores, buy your clothes and whatnot. It's like I bought a skirt I was going to wear. Got ready to put the skirt on. The skirt wouldn't go on me. I said, no, I couldn't mean I got that big. The skirt, I didn't try it on. In the store, looked like it was picked, and I got ready to put it on. It wouldn't go down over my hips. So I said, Lord, I'll just take it back. I can take it back. I hope, if I can't get my money, I'll just get a larger skirt. That's all. But no, things here in St. Mary's County for the black race. Just like I say, from 1 to 10, it's a 10. All together different. It's nice. It's really nice. It's nice to come home and be able to go in the stores, to go in the restaurants. You don't have to feel shunned. Like I say, I love my hometown now.
Could I ask you a little bit more? So when you were talking about the skirt, were you talking about back then?
No, that was this morning.
That was this morning. I thought maybe you were saying you couldn't try it on in the store.
No. No, that was this morning. I went to put the skirt, brand new skirt. Tiff bought it, my granddaughter bought it from me. And I looked like it fit, and I went to put it in and said, nope, you won't wear this today.
Well, you have such a great memory. You remember all those people's names from your elementary school?
Yeah.
Did you tell us a little bit more, like what the day was like? How did it, at Drayden, how did it start in the morning?
Oh, we got in the morning, we started out with prayer. Always started out with prayer. And then it was the first to third grade was on one side of the school. Fourth to the seventh was on the other side of the school. And the teacher started out with the early grades first. Then she went over to the older grades. And I used to sit over there and see the older ones over there. I said, ooh, be glad when I get over there. When I got in the fourth grade, was able to get on that side. Nobody could tell me anything because it was great. I guess some of y'all know Mr. Stuckey. That was my teacher. Then after he left, Miss Tilghman, you all know her because she married Mr. Dyson, was our teacher. Education, to me, it was pretty good for the way things were back then. Because Mother said all of her children are going to finish at least high school. You don't have to pay for it. After that, it's up to you. But I think out of the family, I think Buddy, Ernestine, Marie, all went to college. Who else, Buddy?
There were others that went to vocational technical trade schools.
Because I went to Cortez Peters. I finished Cortez Peters. But I'm talking about daddy's, mother's children, not the grandchildren. Most of the grandchildren, great-grands, finish college and go to college. But
when you were at Drayden, what'd you do like for lunch?
we had lunch breaks. We had 10:30, 15-minute play. Then you had 12 o'clock lunch. Then you had, I think, 2:30 break, where you went out and played.
You brought your lunch?
Yeah, you brought your own lunch. We didn't know nothing but no cafeteria back then. No. And we used to, and when the weather was good, we sat outside and ate our lunch. And trade sandwiches. I don't know whether you all did that or not. They said, what you got? I don't know. What you got? If you had something that I want to trade with, okay, trade. You did not even trade. I kept my sandwich. But it was nice. You know, back in those days, growing up, you didn't think things were great. But as you got older and look back, you think about how great things were back then, because you had fun. These children nowadays, I don't think they even know what fun is. They cut up and carry on in their schools and whatnot. We didn't have nothing like that in school then. I think I remember once Miss Stuckey whipped one of the boys. And they took him to court. And so when he came back, I never forget it, he said, one of his children did something. And he whipped and said, this is mine. Nobody can tell me what to do with it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he was a good teacher. He was a good, Miss Tilghman. She was a good teacher, but the only thing when Miss Tilghman hit me one time for something I didn't do, I've never forgotten. She said I was talking. I wasn't talking. The person behind me was talking. We in the line going in class. And she reached up and hit me, and I said, why did you hit me? She said, hit you for talking. I said, I wasn't me. Didn't make any difference to her. I've never forgotten it. Mm-hmm. And you know, things in your heart then, you never forget it. And you try to forgive them. But there's certain things that's so hard to forgive. I love that teacher. I love Miss Tilghman. But I'll never forget the time that she hit me, as I said, for nothing.
I know you went to Jarboesville too.
Yeah, I finished Jarboesville.
Which Jarboesville did you go to?
Old one.
The first one or?
First one.
Okay, the one on the base, with the base?
No.
The dormitory?
No, the Jarboesville I went to, it was on the highway, Hermanville Road.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an old one. Must have been the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who were your teachers there?
Mr. and Ms.
Okay.
And Miss, the home ec teacher. Because Miss Hall, I think Miss Hall went back home. Mr. and Ms. Mears. And Miss Hall was the homeroom teacher. Can't think of the teacher. I know we had, I can't think of it. But Mrs. Mears, she died. Yeah.
You mentioned your graduation from Jarboesville. Who? You mentioned someone else that graduated with you.
Chester Gray.
Oh, okay.
We were the only two that graduated that year. Two of us, like two. And I never forget that Miss Dent asked her told who's one of the teachers, why didn't she make her dress, her graduation dress? And Miss Hall, she said she did make it. Did make it. That's why I don't like sewing today. And I picked a dress that was long-waisted. Y'all don't remember that. You remember when it was long-waisted, with pleated skirts all the way around. And I didn't know I was getting in trouble. That's the pattern I picked out. Me and that pattern fought. But Miss Hall, everything had to be perfect. So perfect that Miss Dent didn't believe I made it. But it taught me a lesson. I don't like sewing today. Something needs stitched up, I'll put it aside.
And who was Miss Dent?
She was the superintendent of the schools. in Southern, I guess it was Southern Maryland, but she was the superintendent. And Mr. Waters was the supervisor.
Okay. Well, we thank you very much, Ms. Morgan, for sharing your life with us. We
Well,
really
it
appreciate
wasn't that much.
you coming. Yes, thank you.